Hey guys, Emily Muchanti here, and I have a video today for my new reading intervention teachers. Today's video is all about how do you navigate the world of limited resources when you are starting in a new position as a reading interventionist, or perhaps you're beginning a new reading intervention program. So I have lots to share with you about that. First, I want to remind you, please like, subscribe, share this video, and let's get it into the hands of anybody who may need to see it. I also want to encourage you to stick through to the end because I have an announcement that I would really love for you to hear. All right, so just beginning this, I have a lot of notes on my screen, so if you see me looking, it's because I don't want to miss anything. Now, the first thing that we have to do when you are beginning a reading intervention program or you're stepping into one is you need to go in and do an assessment of basically what it is that you have on hand. Now, remember that all of your resources that you are going to be using in intervention, for the most part, really need to be aligned to those 5 pillars of early literacy, or the 5 pillars of literacy, which are the phonological awareness, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. And so you want to make sure that you have things related to each of those bands, and preferably at varying levels of support or varying grade levels that you could use that for. And so we all know that curriculum gets really expensive, but I will give you a little bit of encouragement here. The curriculum that's super expensive are the big giant kits that claim to kind of do it all. And we want to stay away from those things anyway. So really what you're looking for is really good supplemental resources where you can pull from to fit the needs of your students. And those are the assessed needs that we have based on data. So I want to talk to you about what you can do to either find some cheap resources, I should say inexpensive, or free, which we actually really love. And we start with, of course, assessing what it is that you have, doing kind of a resource audit, if you will, pulling out your cabinets and seeing, okay, is this aligned with the science of reading, and is it aligned to those 5 big pillars of literacy? Because that's where your intervention energy should be focused. All right. I also want to say that the absolute best investment you can make in resources, hands down, is in you and your professional learning as a reading interventionist. A knowledgeable, well-trained reading interventionist will be able to do a great deal with limited resources because you'll know what to do with it. So don't forget that if there's any funding available where you can attend trainings, participate in specific coaching groups, those kinds of things, check out Stephanie Stoller's The Reading Science Academy. It's amazing. I'm a member. There are so many things that you can do so that you're constantly building your own skill set and your own knowledge so that you can do best with what you have. Okay. All right. So we've done an assessed need. We've decided what it is that you are lacking. Perhaps, for example, when I walked into a program, there was nothing about maybe 10 years ago related to phonological awareness, nothing. And our data showed that the kids were really lacking in that. And so that was a place that I had to go to figure out what I was going to use. So the first thing I want to remind you of is that let's go around your site, check out your library resources. Sometimes the media specialist librarian houses some resources for teachers, and go through and see what's available. See what is not being used in your site that you could actually use. But you want to make sure that it's aligned to those things that we talked about earlier. So finding ways to repurpose existing materials is a great way to build your resource library in your intervention program. You can also look at tapping into some community support. We had our foundation in our district was very active, and every year I would write a grant for something that I was looking for to add to the to our resource library. They were always very generous. You could do Donors Choose, which is a great source for teachers. I have received many awards from them so that I could continuously build my resources. But again, it's got to be aligned to what it is that you're really focused on. Now, another thing to consider is connecting with and collaborating with other intervention teachers. If your district does not, if you are the only one, then reach out into your county, reach out into, gosh, anywhere, social media. The web is full of different resources for you where you can connect with existing reading intervention teachers and find out what they're using so that you at least know where you can kind of focus in your hunting of resources. And I'm going to link for you 5 very reputable free resources that you could search on your own in the show notes here. And those are, I don't want to forget, these are the 5 that I would highly recommend because there's going to be articles, information, resources, webinars, things that will give you just a great deal. So one is the Florida Center for Reading Research. Great source. They have so many things to offer. It's all aligned to the science of reading. Reading Rockets is another one. It's a fantastic organization, great sources. You could check out Reading A to Z. They have a great deal of materials that are available there. ReadWorks is another one. And the International Dyslexia Association has materials, resources, or they can direct you to other ones. The Reading League is another great place to search. I know California just adopted the state California Reading League. So yay, California, I'm so proud of you guys. And there are many state chapters in the nation. There are still a few yet to be developed, but you can go to the main national one as well. And I will link all of those things in the show notes to help you with that. So bottom line is that when you're searching for resources, you really do want to find reputable resources. You want to make sure that they are aligned to what we know is important in foundational early literacy and intervention and is aligned to that science of reading. I do want to caution you about a couple of things. The things I love, Teachers Pay Teachers is a great source for certain things. I get really leery when people go to Teacher Pay Teacher for their intervention curriculum, actually for any curriculum. I think that there's a place for it and we have a lot of opportunities to use that, and that's fine. And shout out to all those teacher creators out there. That's great. But what's lacking from Teacher Pay Teacher is the evidence of that this works, okay? And so not having any research foundation in most cases to actually prove that what you're purchasing is going to work. So be very, very careful there. It's not my first place to go to when I'm looking for resources. Now, if I'm looking for something fun to do or a practice like a scavenger hunt or something, I love some of the things that are so creative out there. But again, when it's like full curriculum, you've got a lot riding on this. I would rather have things that have a proven track record. And so keep that in mind. All right. So I do want to invite you to something that I've started. So if you didn't know, I mentioned it, I think, in the last video, but my new website is emilymuchanti.com. And on that site, you can see all of the ways that I support teachers, whether it's new teachers or intervention teachers. And I am hosting a free live webinar at the end of July for new reading intervention teachers. And it's called Unlocking the Intervention, totally messed that up. Unlocking Intervention Program Potential Through Expert Reading Support. And we're going to talk about what we know about the research for struggling readers, what we can do with your intervention programs to give you a step-by-step guide in order to start creating an intervention of your dreams that we know is going to be very effective with your students. And just full disclosure, because I'm all about transparency, I will have an offer at the end of that webinar if you would like to work with me in a group coaching situation. And you'll hear some testimonials and things like that. And so that will be happening July 26th and July 27th at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. It will be recorded. It will be emailed out if you are unable to participate live, but you do just need to get registered for that. So I'm also going to have a link down below where you can register for that webinar. And I would love to see you there. That's the plan, is to kind of finally get out there and do some things with my intervention group for those of you that are looking for some additional coaching and support. So that's at emilymuchanti.com. Again, all of the links will be down below. So I hope that you are enjoying your summer. It is 4th of July tomorrow, hence my red, white, and blue. So happy 4th of July. Enjoy your friends and family. Take some time for yourself. Thank you for what you do, and bye for now.